Hey, everybody.
Hello.
We are live. Here for our results for January 2022 giveaway for everybody who attended Protospiel Online, and with our very special co-host, Chris from Flip the Table. We'll also be giving away 3 prizes just for the live viewers. Yay. Thank you so much for joining us, Chris.
It's a pleasure to be invited. What a fun opportunity to talk to some up-and-coming designers and to hang out with the Protospiel crowd.
Yes. And if anybody doesn't know Chris, he was I feel like you were sort of the lead moderator of Flip the Table, yes?
I was the guy. I was the editor, director, producer, sort of project manager of Flip the Table. But on the show, I was the moderator and host. So I kind of herded the cats that were Flip
Gotcha.
Flory, Jared Hunnefeld, and Professor Laser Books as we talked about cheesy, weird, and obscure board games from the past, like the ones you see behind me that I just hang on to because I can't bear to part with them. So.
Hey, we all have our things. That's fine.
Right. People talk about the shelf of shame, so to speak, and I scoff at that. That's
absolutely.
We get the benefit of you having all the cheesy games because you've got the Price is Right to play with us on the stream. So
that's right. We're going to be having some fun with this vintage Price is Right game today. We're using that to give away a couple prizes. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it, but it should be a good time.
And it won't actually be that long until we do. Maybe about 3 or 4 minutes from now, we're going to do the very first one once we kind of let all of y'all filter in. So those people who come early get extra good chance to win the first prize.
There you go.
But before we talk about that, let's say hello to David Masnato, one of my co-organizers, who will be mostly with us backstage, but we wanted to say hi right here at the beginning. We have this week, we've had something very special to celebrate in Protospiel Online community, which is that David made it into the finals of the Cardboard Edison Award with his game Roommates.
Yeah, yay. Thank you. It's super exciting. I haven't moved it since I got the newest prototype in, but
Look at that.
Sitting over here. Yeah, oh, there it is. I'm putting some finishing touches on stuff that's going in the box, and then it's going to go to a bunch of strangers in New Jersey, I think, is where I'm supposed to send it. So, yeah, super exciting. And it really could not have gotten to this point without all of the amazing playtesters and people from Protospiel who gave it a shot and gave their thoughts and feedback. It really was very much a team effort to get it to this point. So I'm super excited and super thankful for everybody. Yeah.
So David will be taking care of everybody who's in the chat, making sure we can see everything you're saying and just kind of doing all the bells and whistles for the Wheel of Names that we'll be spinning a little bit later. So we're giving things away in 2 different ways. Chris will help us give away for live viewers, and we'll use the Wheel of Names to give away for those people who earned entries at the January 2022 event, and all those names are already gathered. It's okay if they're not here, whether they're here or not. We have their email, and they're going to win, and they can watch the replay if they want. So. And then to talk about what those prizes are, we're going to go in this order, the kind of the cheapest to the most expensive. We're giving away our own merch. So we've got our t-shirts here. That'll be the last prize. We've got a whole bunch of different colors and 2 different patterns. Lean back a little, David, so they can see the other one. Yeah.
I love the color selection on these shirts. I'm so glad to have been gifted this berry-colored shirt. We are the primary colors today.
We're
except like the sort of brighter, more vibrant version, which I'll take. So
yeah, I thought I told David we look kind of like the pan flag, actually, depending on how we arrange ourselves.
Oh yeah,
maybe I can do it. It's slow.
I don't know.
There.
I don't know. There we go. Hey.
And then we also have these stickers. I'm gonna give away. You can have 2. So there's pride colors and solid colors. So kind of like I play blue or whatever. You can get some like that. And there's 2 different patterns. So you can kind of mix and match if you win that. That's the first one we're going to give away. The second one we're going to give away is very mysterious. Nobody knows what it is, except for David, because I sent it to him early as a test. But it's the prize that we give away to people who win the Shout Out a Palooza contest, which is something new we've started doing, just starting in January. But we form you into teams, and the team that's the most active in Shout Out a Palooza channel in our Discord gets a snail mail prize mystery present that you won't find out what it is until it comes to you in the mail, and I can send it to you anywhere in the world with a forever international stamp. So everybody can be included, which makes me very happy. So
I tell you what, there's nothing better than
prize.
getting a message that says, "Give me your address, no questions."
Yeah, totally.
I need your home address, and I'm not giving you any more information about that.
It's going to be something that's light enough to come with a stamp.
It is.
That's a good hint.
cute
That's
and fun.
reasonable.
And then the last thing will be the t-shirt. So then I'll give it over to you, Chris, so that we can give away the sticker prize before we welcome our first guest.
Yeah.
We're ready to do this right now? All right. So I have some cards from the vintage 1986 Price is Right board game here. And what we're going to do is we're going to play a little bit of Contestants Row here. So I'm going to show you a card from the game. And on the back of the card is a price that is generally what that thing would have cost in 1986. So the way that we're going to do it, I'll show it to you, and then I'll say 3, 2, 1, go. And when I say go, I'm going to have everybody hit enter on their keyboard and get their bid for what they think this is into the chat. So you can key it in at any time, but do not press enter until I say go, okay? I'm going to consider the first 6 bids that come up in the chat. So speed counts here. The closest, without going over, is going to win the prize. If 2 bids are exactly the same, I'm going to take the first one that comes up on my side in the list. If all of you overbid, then I'll go to the next set of bids in the chat after the first 6. So even if you're a little too slow, you still have a chance for it. So once again, I'll show you the card. You put in, when I say go, what you think the price is as close as you can. Closest without going over gets the prize. Sound good? All right. So the first item we're going to do today for our live prize is this beautiful 3-pound can of shortening.
Delicious.
So as you can see in the picture, it is shortening brand shortening. Don't enter your bids yet. There are 4 prices on the back, letters A, B, C, and D. David, why don't you pick one of those letters for me?
Oh my gosh. I'm going to do C.
C. Okay. C as in shortening. Okay.
Yes.
So
exactly.
All right. So when I say go to the penny in this case, not to the nearest dollar, you're going to need the pennies for this. Tell me what you think a 3-pound can of shortening cost in 1986. Everybody ready? You can have a moment to key that into your keyboard right now. And I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, bid. Put them in the chat. Let's see what you got. All right. I see $3.99, 73 cents. That's 1, 2, 3 bids, 4 bids. Just 3. All right, we'll give it another moment, just in case we have only 3 bids here.
This is a good spread of prices.
It is a good spread.
I think it's a little bit of a delay too.
There is going to be a
so.
little bit of a delay. Yeah.
All right, one more moment, and then we will close bidding. In 3, 2, 1. Okay, we'll lock it in. So remember, we are looking for the closest without going over. So the actual made-up retail price of 3 pounds of shortening in 1986, $3.18. That means Wostbrock. Congratulations, you are the winner of today's first prize. I'll go ahead and prove it out here for everybody. If you can see 318 kind of in my camera here. So the other 2 went over. Good job bidding low, Wostbrock. You win an amazing prize.
Congratulations. You absolutely love to see it. Should we are we ready to invite on guest number 1? Is that what happens now?
Yes, and I think you can be free.
And I'm going to go away.
Do all your behind-the-scenes work. Thank you so much for joining us at the beginning and saying hello. Are you going to come back at the end, David?
I can come back. You
better, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, we'll see you at the end.
Awesome.
All right, sounds good. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, David.
For a moment, I'll put us back. Okay, there we go. And, well, it's not a huge surprise, I suppose, who's coming on. I've shown Chris the schedule. Hello, Jess.
Hello.
Hi there.
Hello.
Awesome. So
Lovely
joining
to see
us-
you all.
joining us from the UK. So this is why it's great to do it in the afternoon. We can include
That's
y'all.
why I'm first as well. Yeah, because it's just got 8 p.m. here, so.
Oh, I was gonna guess like 4 in the morning, so I was way off. So
No. But I must admit that I thought that the question you were asking earlier, it took me right up until they were coming in before I was like, oh, of course, pounds in weight. Because it's just so ingrained. I was like, oh, yeah, obviously. I mean,
it's
it's
like
so
a question out
obvious
of
now.
Mind Trap, right? It's like the trick in there that you can actually get it if you think about it.
Yeah, I was thinking, well, surely it's going to be less than 3. Oh no, that's $1. That makes sense now.
I should have specified US dollars, but yeah, we'll get them in the next time. It's all good.
Everyone else would have worked it out. It was fine. It was just, when you happen to come from somewhere that uses the pound as the currency.
Off to a good start. That's always good to hear.
Yeah, we just have to be
Exactly.
difficult between our two countries, right? Just to confuse each other. We were also discussing the changing of daylight savings time and how very, very confusing it is that it happens at completely different times for us.
Yeah, exactly. You do it about 2 weeks earlier than we do it because we wait until the end of March. Can't quite remember which weekend in March it is, but it's the end. And I think you do it next weekend. Is that right?
Yes.
Next weekend, I'll be at Granite Game Summit at the time. So we are getting 1 hour of convention time taken away from us by the time change.
Disgraceful. You
I'm
should
gonna write some
to
angry
someone about
letters
that.
to my representatives to figure that out.
What's
if you have
your
young children, also, that's also the worst.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you're during either change, doesn't matter.
Absolutely. No, I know all about that. But when we write letters, we say that it's so the shorthand for that is we say that it's from Disgusted from Tunbridge Wells, which is a smallish market town in Kent. And I wonder what the equivalent is there.
We should just do that. That sounds like a great convention.
So and so writes in Disgusted from Tunbridge Wells.
I'm just going to start telling people I'm from there, and that'll help to get the point across, I think.
Absolutely.
Well, let's hear about your experiences, Jess, at Protospiel Online. Any kind of favorite story, something that you remember that happened. We'd love to hear about that, and also like any games that you remember playing that you'd like to give a shout out
stuck
to
in
the
the
gamer,
mind.
the designer. Yeah.
Absolutely. So Protospiel was really useful. We did a fair amount of online playtesting, but I think we went to our first Protospiel sort of like right at the beginning of that. So it was a really good introduction to it and really getting stuck in. So that first weekend we were doing it, this would have been the April of last year. Then it was like, oh, okay, actually, we need to completely rejiggle this. And we completely took the roof off our game and we put it back on. So Library Labyrinth at that point, had a big boss monster at the end. And we were like, oh, no, this doesn't work. So we completely redid that. But actually, there's a better story coming from a few months later. So the second Protospiel we went to, then, this is Library Labyrinth again, and we'd just redone all of the floors and it was now tiles. We brought it along and we thought that it would break at more than 4 people. We were like, this is never going to work with 5, never. So this was something that I was reminiscing about today, actually. And I was like, how, this is not going to work. We played it at 5 and it was absolutely brilliant. It was,
Wow.
Complete fluke. We did have to, to add in a couple of turns because I think I'd put it at 20 turns. It actually needed a couple more to make it work. But it was like, this actually really works well at 5. The chemistry was there, the dynamics were there, the players were doing all the, there's a lot of passing cards, for example. I was like, wow, this is great. So, yeah, sometimes things when you think they're going to fall over, they completely don't. And it's absolutely brilliant.
And it's good that you were able to get 5 people, right?
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
Probably the main way Protospiel helped you with that. It's just that a lot of people were gathered together at the same time, so you could find 5 without stress. Hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it was interesting how the times worked there because So some of the time when we were at Protospiel, then, there'd be like 3 of us hanging around, and it was like, oh, well, it's the middle of the night in the States now. But then some of the other times, so loads of other people were just coming on to play sort of late afternoon, lunchtime for me. And I was like, actually, this works really well, because it means that I can sort of play through the evening, especially once the kids have gone to bed. So my 2 are 3 and 5, and they don't really help with playtesting games at that age,
No.
unfortunately.
They do not.
Yeah.
Not even one little bit.
Yeah.
Though there was one where my 5-year-old has helped a lot. I had some colouring in cards for Christmas, and she was brilliant at playtesting those.
Oh, well,
But
that's
apart
good.
from that,
That's helpful.
yeah, apart from that, small children and playtesting does not work. So having that ability to go, oh, yes, we can just do this, and we can just, we can hang around. I can be there late in the evening. It was brilliant. But in the early mornings, I think actually you asked about shouting out to people. Kirsten from New Zealand was the person who was doing a lot of the early morning stuff, and it's like, it was brilliant, just sitting there chatting with her, a couple of other people coming in, and it was just so relaxed and so calming and absolutely brilliant.
Awesome.
That's a great point there too, with just being open worldwide. It gives you that critical mass of people at any time of the day, which is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. So yes, so it was a brilliant experience, and so helpful just to get different eyes on it.
Yeah, awesome. What do you remember from games that you played? Anyone that's like, even though it's been almost a year, that you still remember?
So one of the ones which I think is coming up soon, is going to actually be delivered soon via Kickstarter, would be Hecking Hounds, which is Matty's game. And I was like, that was just really good. Some people are completely drawn into anything that's a dog or cat game, and that's not me. It's fine as a theme, but it's not the thing where I go, hey, I've got to buy it. But the fact that it was a trick giving game was really good. I really liked that. The play on the whole trick taking, and the betting on how, well, not quite betting, but the guessing how many tricks you were going to take. And I was like, yes, this feels so familiar to me. Because card games are where I come from. So I was like, yeah, this is great.
You had me at trick giving because I like a good trick taking game, but a lot of them have that same sort of basic flow. So to kind of turn that on its head sounds really interesting.
It was really good. It was a really good game. I really enjoyed it.
And like the different kinds of dogs, like the numbers are different kinds of dogs, and they all have funny names.
Yeah. Well, actually,
yeah,
the fact that there were so many plays on words there, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you have sort of powers, or it's just the fact that they're ranked differently, I guess, is maybe their power? Like their rank is their power, maybe.
Yeah, the ranking was the power. Or that was my recollection of it.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've played it. I'm waiting for it to come. So, and I think it feels there's some kind of weirdness of how you move the cards around as opposed to a different card game. And it was a little bit difficult to play online. So I'm excited to do it in person soon with the real.
Yeah, I think the first time I played online, I may have shuffled the entire deck when I wasn't supposed to. And I was like, oh dear, sorry.
Awesome. That's a great shout out. Are you ready, David, to show us the wheel of names and spin?
Oh, the first time! The wheel of names!
So as you can see, it's just like so packed full of names because people can win multiple entries. So some people's names, most people's names are on here multiple times. Once somebody wins, David's going to remove their name from the entire wheel so that other people have a chance, and we'll start to be able to read the names from here.
By the end of it, there might be a name you can actually read on there.
It'll pop up when they win. We'll see their name, but we can't read them as it's spinning there. So this first one, let's make it a $25 gift card to a retailer of your choice, and this is sponsored by XYZ Game Labs. And you'll hit it. You'll hit it without any animation from the side. Okay.
Excitement.
James Henderson.
Congratulations, James Henderson.
Woo!
Pick a good retailer, James.
Yes.
Make that $25 count.
anybody who allows me to give you a digital one, like it can be your local game store or Cool Stuff Inc. or Amazon or whatever feels best to you. A lot of people ask for the Game Crafter, actually. If you want to put it towards your prototype, that's completely fine. It's very
That's
easy
a good
to give
idea,
you
actually.
That's a
gift card
great
for them.
idea.
Or you can buy somebody else's game, too. There's plenty of games to buy there.
Trip or two to McDonald's? That's an option.
I don't know. I think the buying the game, yeah, who knows?
You know,
But
tomato, potato, you know, whatever. It's all good.
Tomatoes. It's always tomatoes.
what is the best way for us to get a hold of you, Jess, if people want to look you up? Oh, and tell us about, real quick, we got to talk about your Kickstarter for Library Labyrinth.
Yeah. So I've got a Kickstarter for Library Labyrinth, which funded yesterday. Woohoo!
Congratulations!
Excellent. Yeah.
Well done.
Oh, thank you. So Library Labyrinth funded yesterday, going till the 31st of March. Basically, cursed library, lots of powerful fictional and historical women running around trying to capture the big bad things that have escaped from the books and put them back in the books, defeat the curse. All very funny and simple and, exciting. You can normally find me on Twitter. That's where I'm most reliably found. So go to Descent Games. You can also find me on Facebook. Look for Descent Games, but you could also look for Library Labyrinth. And the Kickstarter is called Library Labyrinth. There's also a website called librarylabyrinth.com. So look me up at one of those.
Anywhere you want, really.
That's a great elevator pitch. So I'm definitely going to be looking into that.
Oh, excellent.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
Jess.
you for having
Especially
me. It's been grand.
Weird time zone and everything. And we'll see you soon on our streams too. We're going to actually play Library Labyrinth on ScreenTop.gg soon, next week. If you're in our Discord for Protospiel Online, I will be posting specific times to help you remember when it is. So thank you.
Excellent and lovely to see you all. So thank you, everyone. Bye.
Pleasure to meet you. Thank you again.
Up next, drum roll. Yeah, it's Shanti. Hi. So good to see you.
Thanks, Heather.
Yeah, thanks for coming and joining us.
Yeah.
So Shanti has a very interesting, I want to say it the right way, 2-player card game, legacy game, non-destructive legacy game.
It is. That's true. Yes.
Right.
It's made to be the fastest legacy game that you've played. It's a 2-player deck building kind of duels where you work through the legacy envelopes very fast. So you get to open something new every 10 minutes.
Shanti is frozen for me.
That was just getting good too. I heard deck building and 2-player, which is one of my favorite things. I'm a big fan of the DC Rivals series, and so I was getting real excited. I hope he comes back on so we can hear about more of it.
Something that works much better for a kind of campaign style situation, or can work much better. You only need 2 people to play, so
that's a big thing.
Couple, you don't have to arrange like a whole big thing.
Yeah, that's the trouble we always had with things like Risk Legacy and that kind of thing. It's like they're great games, but that critical mass of people who can commit to 15 games is hard. Right. Whereas I know I will be playing at least 15 more games with my wife, because that's what we do in our off time. And so something that's that legacy style would be very good. Chip Beauvais had a sort of legacy prototype he was working on that we had a chance to try, and that was really fun too. So it can be done.
Yeah, and this one is non-destructive too, so it's you could reset it. You don't have to throw it away when it's done. Well, okay, I'm so sorry that we got to see Shanti for just a second, and I don't know how much longer we should wait. I mean, we can talk up Shanti's game. We can't tell stories from Shanti's experience at Protospiel, unfortunately.
We can speculate. We just guess what the game is about.
I can talk about my experiences of Shanti, and there's definitely a reason that he's been invited on the stream, because he's just been a great advocate for Protospiel Online and just a really positive member of our community, really active, like in the event itself when he comes. And I know that he has told me in back channels, so I have to be the one who says it for him, but that he almost can't get people to let him play test for them. Everybody wants to play test his thing, and it's just like such a breath of fresh air that he gets so much play testing, even when he's very open to do it for other people, because they're all in the mode that they want to help. That's kind of the way it feels inside our event. So
Yeah.
I think just the fact that we all know we have 3 days, there's a little less grasping pressure to get your time playtesting, maybe. I don't know what it is, but
yeah,
we have...
and especially with people who are familiar with the playtesting process and know how to give quality feedback and that
Right.
kind of thing. When I was working on Roll Estate, one thing we do not have here in beautiful Bangor, Maine, is a game design community. We have plenty of gamers, but not a lot of people working on games. And so that was a real challenge to get to the table again and again and again and again in those iterations to really hone it and get it where it needed to be. So thankfully, I have some good friends who were willing to put up their time, but it's just a more challenging thing, right? So
Right.
that 3-day stretch, which is just dedicated, held time, is wonderful. And it looks like we got Shanti back.
Hello.
Hey, we were just saying nice things about you.
Oh no. The internet does not want to cooperate.
We are definitely live today. This is how we do it.
Yep.
I wonder if we could invert things. Maybe we give away a prize and buy some time.
Yeah, actually, why don't we do that?
Yeah.
That's all right, David.
You want to do a viewer prize?
Oh no, it's one when we've got the guest time. We'll do the
Okay.
people from January.
Sounds good.
Sorry,
Here he is.
Sorry, y'all. I was kind of futzing with the controls a little bit. It's me, Wheel of Names. I am noticing that we're getting a lot of latency from a few of the people who are trying to join in the room. So what I'm going to do is cut our royalty-free beats and see if maybe that's like taking up
That's what's taking up the space.
taking up a little bit of space. I'm hoping we can because even Chris, you're kind of choppy. So I'm going to do some tinkering on my end and try and keep the ship afloat. You're both doing great. And I'm going to go back off for a little bit. Do we need to move on to we've got Shanti back. Do we want to try it one more time?
Let's give it a shot. I just
All
turned
right,
off
let's try
some
this one more
settings
time.
on my side too. Maybe that'll
At
help.
least
Okay,
say
cool.
goodbye, right?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to disappear again. Here's Shanti.
Okay, goodbye. Here he is.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Awesome. Yeah. We were talking about this game, so you can show us the cover.
There's Witch's Quarrel.
Awesome. I've actually never seen the box. That's exciting.
Yep. I got to show it at the end of Protospiel, and it was a great experience. I think the most fun thing that happened was recently, like last week, I had two people who played message and find a way to pick up. They had made a save file from the Protospiel experience, and then they picked up and they were playing last weekend. They played another 3 games of it to get through the legacy experience. So I'm getting some deeper playtesting that way, and that's been great.
Cool. Yeah. Sometimes it might frustrate a game designer if somebody saved something in the middle, but you're like, please do that. That's awesome. Right?
I gave
And
them
that's
permission.
always like the best compliment a designer can get is let's play again, right? Especially during the playtesting process.
Yes. Yeah, it's wonderful.
Awesome. Cool. Well, I'm so sorry we had so much technical difficulty and didn't really get to talk to you. I told tales of things you've told me about your experience while you were offline, so we got
Great.
a little bit of that. But I think if David's ready, we can do the Wheel of Names with you here with us. Maybe you'll win. I'm pretty sure you have some. Well, no, you told me you don't care. about winning. You just want to come and get to play test with people. So you probably
That's
won't
right. The play testing is the reward for me.
win.
It's a good attitude to have, I think.
Cool. Okay, spin it.
All right, here we go. The Wheel of Infinite Names. Let's see what we get.
Colin!
All in.
Oh, and I didn't say before you spun it, that is a free badge to Protospiel Online. So we'll just toggle. Then, and the next one we spin will be a $25 gift certificate to the retailer of your choice, sponsored by XYZ Game Labs. But that one is a
Congratulations,
badge
Colin.
that you can use yourself or someone else for Protospiel Online. Awesome. Well, why don't you tell everybody where they can kind of follow along with what you're up to, and if you have any kind of mentions of timelines for Witch's Quarrel, what you think, Shanti?
Sure. Well, you can find Witch's Quarrel at witchesquarrel.com. And there's a link for our Facebook or to join our Discord there. If you join the Discord, I'm looking for playtesters all the time to work on that. And I'm looking for publishers now.
Okay, so you've shifted away from thinking you might publish it yourself. You want somebody else to publish it for you. Is that where you're at?
I'm still hoping for that. I have a few friends who are trying to convince me to self-publish, but I'm hoping to find a publishing partner who will let me stay involved in the artistic process through everything. So a small publisher.
Yeah.
Well, good luck. I mean, either way, it sounds like a fantastic product, and I hope that either somebody sees clear to helping you bring it to market, or you find a way to do it on your own. But either way, best of luck to you.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a great weekend. Maybe we'll see you in chat.
Great.
All right, good stuff. Non-destructive legacy games are always good. It's fun that you can kind of play them once and you write on them and you tear up the stickers, but it's nice to be able to go back and do that all over again from the top and still be able to use your product after you've played all the games. So
yeah, or gift it to somebody afterwards too. It's just less wasteful of materials.
Yeah, I think about that like with the escape room in a box type games, the ones that you can kind of re-rack and then pass along to somebody else to have the experience. Makes me feel a little bit better about spending the money on those.
Mm-hmm. Yes, please. The next guest. It's Michael Wostbrock. That was.
Hi.
How did you say that, Chris?
Wostbrock. Yeah. It's me. Hi. How are you guys doing? Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Loud and clear.
Good. My headphones were not working last minute. I was trying to scramble and fix that. Hey,
Gotta
Angel.
love those last minute tech issues.
Always. So, yeah. What's going on?
Well, we've got you here with us to tell us all your tales from Protospiel Online and things that happened to you while you were there and games you remember, designers you want to shout out, anything like that. We would love to hear all about it.
Well, Protospiel Online has been so much fun. I think I've been 3 or 4 times. It's been my only board game convention experience because I started looking to attend board game conventions around 2 years ago, and so I was worried that I wouldn't have any way to connect with other designers or to get to understand the industry better. And I'm really thankful for Heather and David and all of you that have worked to put this together and create it and make a place where people can meet virtually. And obviously that has uses beyond just the pandemic world, but it's been great. So I went once wondering what it would be like, and I've come back many times, which is a good sign. People probably would guess that it's a good thing to do as a designer, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. I have not had a single playtest session with any of my games at Protospiel Online where I didn't learn something about my game or find a way to improve it. I get so many good suggestions from designers who have played twice the games that I've ever played. And so that is really gratifying. But what surprised me about Protospiel Online is how much fun I have as a playtester. And that's accessible to anyone, whether you've never played games in a virtual format or never thought about designing. it's an excellent place to go and just play games. And so when I was thinking over some of my favorite experiences online, they all revolved around times that I was a playtester. One of the really fun things that can happen, especially if you attend more than once, is you might give some feedback to a designer, and then 3 months, 6 months, 9 months later, you go back, you get a chance to play the game, and there's your feedback in some form in the game. And that is cooler than making a game in some
That
ways.
is cool.
To come back to a game and see something that has changed because of the input that you had, to feel listened to and to know that you could be helpful in some kind of way. It's really exciting. In my very first Protospiel Online, one of the first games I played was a game called Mononoke. I think I have the right amount of syllables in there. Designed by Tim. I think it's. Oh, Tim, I should have checked with you first. It might be going to Kickstarter. I know that was his eventual plan, but I don't think it's actively in one. I hope I haven't missed that. But
You haven't. It so happens I was talking to him just today.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. You can back me up.
And it's coming, yeah, but not
great. Keep an eye on that one. I've played it.
when,
I've played it twice now, and I've had a good time both times. But the first time I played it, it is a game about yokai, and it's a cooperative / competitive game where players are battling or just encountering yokai, which are like mythological / ghosts / spirits / boogeyman creatures in Japan. And you can die in this game and exist as a ghost, which still plays kind of sort of like in the old Mario Kart 64 idea, where your only purpose is to destroy other alive players. And I died very quickly because of some poor choices I made in the game. And I had fun, but I had some suggestions to Tim around what the ghost player might want to do to make that role more engaging, because I had encountered that role sooner than most people had. And he was really appreciative and positive about the feedback I gave him. But I was shocked to play the game 6 months later and see some of those ideas integrated. And that was really fun for me. And that's happened many times, not because I give particularly good feedback, but because the designers that come to Protospiel are there to hear from other people, from other designers and from playtesters, and to let that mold and shape their games. And so getting to be a part of that interaction where you play other people's games and get to share in that experience with them and maybe even shape it in a little bit, but is so much fun. I have a really good time, and people are saying nice things in the chat. Thank you.
Yeah, you mentioned
I enjoy that a lot.
And you mentioned that accessibility too. You can do all this without buying a plane ticket, without paying a hotel, which depending on what area of the country you live in, that can get very prohibitive. So
yeah,
it's so great that it opens up this world of design and playtesting to folks who might not otherwise be able to access it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I live next to a major city, and I live near Atlanta, and I still like this has opened up a whole world of interaction to me. I got to play games with people overseas, people who think that pounds is not just a measurement of weight, and people that sleep while I'm awake, and it's so fun and eye-opening sometimes. So yeah. Is this a good time to plug some other people's games? Oh yeah. Including my own. So I am over at my mother-in-law's house, and I got the very gratifying experience of walking over and seeing one of my games on their counter, unopened. I'll try not to be bitter about that, but
yeah, right. My shrink is off. I have not played it yet, though. I mean, it's not. This game feels like it'd be much more fun with more people, and my husband does not like. He doesn't like speed games, so he's not going to like this game. But I think it's funny. And
so it's a speed game. Tell me about it.
Sure. So I'll give this a quick plug, and call me on time because I don't know where we are because we kind of got off the 10-minute increment. Okay. This is it's a fast-paced recipe building game played in real time where families and friends are all trying to snatch the right ingredient to build their recipe. So it's like you're a short order chef competing against several other chefs all at one time, and you're trying to play something similar to solitaire where you're building things, in sequential stacking cards in front of you, but you're working on several recipes at once, and the things that you need are in a pile where anyone can grab them at any time. And so you're trying to outrace other people, but you're also able to interrupt what they're doing with different cards. And one of the things about this game, because I did like speed games growing up and still do, is with some help from feedback on Protospiel Online, I was able to design some mechanics that let players of different skill level play together and still have a good time. So I play with my 5-year-old, now 6-year-old, who is a good play tester in this particular area, because I wanted to test different age and skill gaps, and we have a really good time together. And if I'm not careful, she can beat me because of some of the mechanisms in this game. And it's just a lot of fun. It's meant to be a quick, snappy game. That's a lot of fun. We have a good time with it. I wanted to plug some games I played at Protospiel while I had the chance. 6 months ago, I think, I got to play a game by my friend Emily called Synchronized, which is a team memory game. It's a lot of fun. You are working with a group of people right there. That's awesome. To try and like you and your team have to memorize a layout of cards, and the opposing team is doing the same thing, but there's ways that you can kind of challenge each other. And the way that the rounds increment is really clever and a lot of fun. And I wanted to give Angel's game a quick plug too. Angel was here in the chat, or he was, and I played that last Protospiel. And I'll let Angel put a link to that, since I can't pronounce the website online, but you can find the other one at zerugames.com, ZERUA games.com. It's really fun to play and plug stuff that people have tested at Protospiel, because it's such a good place to go and play games. Heather is fanning out the beautiful cards there. That game's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You should try it.
That is kind of the thing about Emily. She's an artist, and her games are always gorgeous.
They are.
All right. Time to spin the wheel. Yay.
All right.
Will it be?
Here we go. No whammies.
Hey, Andy Jewell.
So that's back to the retail, board game retail gift card. Go, Andy.
Way to go,
Congratulations,
Andy.
Andy. Well done.
Awesome. And so what about you, Michael? Where can we keep up with you and all the stuff you're doing?
Probably the easiest place to find me is on Twitter. That's Wonderful Games, at ONE Durful Games. And I'm floating around on Instagram and Facebook and other places too. But the easiest way to, I think, approach a stranger is on Twitter. So even though I'm not very active on there, if you tag me or at me, I'll see the message and we can chat.
Approaching strangers on Twitter. I feel like that could be like an infographic.
Yeah, 3 steps to talk to someone you've never met before. I mean, where else can you at the president, right? It's
It's the Wild West over there.
It really is. It's a crazy, brave new world.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I think
Good talking to you guys.
we're doing
Good to see
okay. Keeping on track this time. We're going to go to our break and kind of talk about some stuff with Chris and do one of our prizes for live viewers now.
All right.
Good stuff. Good to
Bye,
see you.
Michael. So good to see you.
Bye.
And really, kind of a side plug is that the reason that I know Chris is because of the Building the Game Discord, Building the Game podcast Discord. That's really where I knew who you were, Chris, but I've never really talked to you until we were both in there. And Chris hosted this awesome, to celebrate Jason's 500th episode for his private Discord community. He hosted a game show night with a vintage board game for us that was so funny and hilarious. And
appreciate that. Thank you.
now Chris has something that is possible for him to do more publicly because it's his own content. It's not reusing
Right, not borrowing some
vintage
brands
board
that people are familiar with, right?
right.
Which a lot of game designers do, right? The first iteration, you're gonna, use that as a basis, and then it evolves into its own thing later, right? But
Right.
yeah. So lifelong Building the Game fan. Our podcast kind of grew up together in the podcast space, and if you're not in the Building the Game Discord, join it. It's a great community, and I've been having a lot of fun there. But these days, after doing a board game podcast for about 5 years, after trying my hand at design and doing a self-published thing, I now host a virtual game show on Zoom called Mall Night Long. It is a private event that you can hire for 2 to 12 people And think of it like a lot of people do escape rooms online right now. They will do these types of virtual events. This is something where you bring your friends together, and I will come host and put you into a virtual television game show, basically. That's what it's meant to feel like, where you enter a sort of retro-inspired mall. You go from store to store, playing different types of games, all trying to win the big prize at the end. So there's a word game, and there's food trivia in there. There is games about movies. There's pricing games in there. So a kind of a game show salad, and an experience that I've been having a lot of fun with in the short time since it launched just about a month or two ago.
And you have on one of the Twitch channels that we recommend right now, Board Game Blitz. If you go to that, like on our Twitch, it's in our recommended channels. If you go to that, one of their most recent streams, and I don't know if their streams stay up for 2 weeks or 4 weeks, but you can see Chris playing with Ambi and Crystal.
That's right. Ambi and Crystal and their guests are Rock and Monique.
Right.
We did a 2-on-2 game of All Night Long, which did not have every single round in it because we wanted to have some time to check in with the chat and say hello to everybody. But it is a really good representation of what the game feels like. So that is up on Twitch on the Board Game Blitz channel. It is also on Board Game Blitz's YouTube. And if you go to facebook.com/Mall Night Long, there's links to it there as well.
Okay,
and so you can kind of get a sense of the sort of tongue-in-cheek humor and the way that it plays. It's really meant to be native to the Zoom environment, not something that was created and then sort of turned into a Zoom experience later on.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it has a really great high production value. Chris is really good at this stuff.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's I put a lot of work into the visuals and the feel because when you're talking about a game show, it has to be as much show as game, right? Just like a board game needs to have those elements like good art and things that sort of draw you into the emotion of it, not just the good mechanics. So that's something that I'm really proud of at the other end of this, and the way that it feels like you're on TV playing a game show.
Yes, and the last part of it that you like always do at the end, the big money arcade, that was super cool. It's just like, it's basically a little game design that you made. It's not like anything else. It's not. It doesn't really remind me of any other specific game show. It's a really cool and interactive thing that you built. So
I appreciate that. Yeah, we try to make it a good variety. So if you're not strong in one category, like if you don't do well with the music category, maybe the word games are your thing, or maybe guessing prices or guessing movie ratings. It's everybody on the team can play to their own strengths. And of course, the big money arcade throws it all out the window. It's just a big random thing at the end, but it's sort of a game of luck and nerve, right? So you build up your money going into the big money arcade. The team in the lead has a significant advantage, but anybody can win at the end. So,
that's awesome.
And somebody's asking for the link, and I will get that into the Twitch chat between things. So we'll get that.
And I have hired Chris to do this for my mother-in-law's birthday. We're very excited.
I'm excited to celebrate your mother-in-law's birthday with you. Yeah, it's something that I do on nights and weekends. Like, it's not my day job, right? Not much like game design is not most of our day jobs anyway, but it's something that is really intended for small groups, right? So I'll do a work event if they're willing to do it at night, but mostly if you have a weekly game night, you want to do something different, it's a great idea to hire it, or just something on a Saturday night if you have people across the country that you might not see otherwise. This is a good way to bring them together and have fun for a couple of hours.
That's I think maybe my very favorite thing about it is the way it allows you to do stuff with your family or your friends that are spread across a wide range of things, and it's not just some Zoom call. It's going to be pretty memorable.
Right. I worked really hard to really draw you into the game aspect so you don't just feel like you're on yet another conference call, right?
Right.
Somebody wants to know how they get invited to your mother-in-law's party. I'm going to let you deal with that while I drop some links in the chat here.
Yeah, do you want to show them the video now? We can't talk over it.
Sure. Yeah, we can do that, and I can look up the YouTube video as well while you put that up on screen.
Let's do that. Yeah, and you're not using it, of course, because that would be a royalty issue. But I'm mad at you, Chris. Every time I work on planning this party, I get that dang song stuck in my head like all day. How dare you? How dare you, sir?
The Canva music library is pretty great. Although if you search Rasure, Rasure, that's the sort of made-up artist name that they attach to it. So yeah, if you want to listen to that album, it's out there.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited for a chance to talk about it. Thank you for letting me share it with everybody watching today.
Oh yeah, I think people need to know about this thing. This is something that, honestly, I think it's a beautiful thing in our kind of heavy laden world. You know, it's good to have that kind of play where you actually get to be with people you love and do something fun and make a memory. And it's kind of hard to do that right now. So I'm grateful you're doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and certainly it's priced for small groups. So get in touch with me. We'll chat about it.
Yes, it's me, Wheel of Names. I've returned with some updates. That looks awesome, Chris.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
I need to actually get a chance to tune into it at some point because it looks super fun. I'm here to kind of kick an idea to you both with a small lineup change. The person who we were going to have next is running a little bit behind schedule, but we do have the guest after that person hanging out in the green room right now.
Yeah,
that's a great idea.
I'm seeing their signature hand signal. Does that mean they're ready to go?
Perfect solution.
Yes,
I love it.
Yes.
Let's run with it.
I love that the horns are my signature. I love that. It's like my brand now.
I thought it was this. There's a difference.
It could be both.
To me.
It could be both.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. These are equivalent. And what's really funny is that English is not the first language of the artist for my game. And I keep throwing the horns to her, and she responds with this, which is the sign language for I love you, which I think is really charming.
Yes.
Which is very fun. Anyway, hello. Yes. Speaking of building the game, you have a building the game host here.
Yes.
Co-host.
That's right.
Well, rotating co-host.
You just keep demoting.
Yeah, just keep going down the totem pole.
Jason Slingerland has an entourage of people, so that like when he goes out to bars, like he's surrounded by people too. If something happens,
he's like,
yeah, rolling with the homies
behind.
Listen, well, I want an entourage. I understand. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
For sure, within the, I think you're the co-host within the Discord. That's the most active co-host, talking to everybody and helping everybody with the feedback and just your quips.
Oh my gosh.
You love Discord. I think that's why that is. The other hosts probably just don't love it as much as you do.
I also have a lot of time on my hands, but that's besides the point. No, I love Discord. Let's go with that. I love Discord. That's also true. Thank you, Yakin. Someday I'll pronounce your name right to prove that I am in the same boat. But I'll talk about that in a second, actually.
There was a character in a movie recently that pronounces their name in the same way as Joachim. Actually, it was Prince Joachim in whatchamacall, the Disney Jungle Cruise movie. So you were the villain, Joachim.
Ooh, with Rock the Dwayne Johnson, that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, I know somebody with that name.
That's amazing. Everyone should know somebody with that name. Happy local time. Yes. Literally the thing I'm going to talk about next. Yeah, speaking of, you're asking people about their Protospiel stories and stuff. Yes. I have Protospiel stories. So I've only been to 2 Protospiels, and the first one was a blur. It was great, but I don't have any specific stories. So all of my stories will be from the most recent one, where I was a moderator. I was so excited to be brought onto the team, and so I hung out a lot in the looking for playtest voice chat was like my zone for the whole weekend, especially because there was the TTS stuff going on. So I was not comfortable using TTS, and it was like right at the very start of all the stuff. So everyone was using TTS. So I have a lot of social stories as opposed to gameplay stories, and one of my favorite ones is just the fact that Protospiel Online doesn't feel like any other con to me. Before the pandemic, there was this weekly game night that happened at a brewery near my house where literally over 100 people would show up every week, get beers, hang out, chat. It was very easy to move in and out of play groups, and there was always like a 40-person game of Two Rooms and a Boom going on in the back. It was awesome. It was such a cool experience, and it's not like any other board game night or convention where it can feel like work trying to pitch your game and like get people to talk about games, and it's a little socially awkward. But Protospiel Online is not like that. It's like everyone's a family. And it's like a big family reunion where everyone actually likes each other and is chatting and all this other stuff. And it's awesome. And so, and one of my favorite things is this phrase cropped up because we have people from all over the world that I've never heard before. And so many people latched onto it because it's amazing. It's instead of saying good morning or good evening or whatever it was, you would just say happy local time because that was all encompassing. And so people were wishing each other happy local time all the time. It's one of my favorite things. Someone even made like a coloring sheet about it, which I want. I'm gonna print out, and when we get the final version, I'm very excited about that. And so, and that's one of my favorite things. And then there were also just so many times where people would show up looking for game chat to look for games, and then just accidentally chat with other people for like half an hour and forget to play a game because it's just so fun to hang out and chat with other designers and playtesters and stuff like that, which I thought was really fun.
Yeah, Joachim calling me his board game mom is one of my very memorable stories from Protospiel Online, saying, please don't take offense, but you're my board game mom.
Oh my gosh.
You make me feel like I can do anything, which is
That's so sweet.
So sweet.
And honestly, I agree.
Thank you.
Let's be real. You're a very empowering individual, Heather. It's very cool.
Thank you. I love that you said family reunion because that's how I felt about the physical Protospiels. I used them as my yearly family reunions, and then when they got taken away from me, that's why I started Protospiel Online. And so I'm so glad that it's becoming that. It's hard to make it work for the people who are part of my family reunion in the physical space because it's a different thing. But what I love is that, like, I was kind of sad about that, but I have this whole extra family, and I still have that family too, you know? So it's good.
Grew.
It's awesome. Yeah.
It's like someone married someone else with an enormous family, and now it just has expanded in all directions.
Yeah.
Just an endless buffet every summer in the backyard.
Sign me up. That sounds excellent.
For real.
Yeah, totally. Well, thank you for that. What about games? Well, you actually, that's the trouble with the situation with TTS. I don't think you got to play a single game. You got to just love on people instead.
I didn't get to play a game, but I do have a story about a game because the description of it has stuck in my memory since I've heard it. And I am desperate to play this game. It sounds awesome. It is by Tanner Simmons, and it is called Gobblins. And it is a game about everyone being a goblin and eating stuff. So it's like an inventory management game, but the inventory is in your stomach, and you eat things and it travels through your stomach and you pass it out as some sort of something. I don't exactly know. I've just heard the description a couple of times, and I'm just like, I was floored when I first heard it. It was amazing. Yeah, David knows what's up. So I do have a game shout out. Is your other family invited to your mother-in-law's party? Well, I certainly hope so.
I mean, we can talk about it. If we don't have a seat filled, there's nothing wrong with that, really.
So each session is 2 to 12 players, so you can always just bulk back-to-back sessions, and we'll just
there it is.
blow this thing out.
Also, real sneaky way to get in on the game after the real obvious thing, and then just sneaking in the side door. So speaking of people shout outs, I wrote a little list so I would remember in what order I wanted to do this. And literally the first name on my people shout out list is Joachim Engfors, because every single time he showed up in the chat, it was like, oh, Tanner, I was literally just talking about how the description of Gobblins makes me want to play it super hard. I didn't get to play any games because of all the TTS stuff going down, but I was absolutely floored by Gobblins, and I think it's so hilarious.
That's an elevator pitch, but there's pyro inside the elevator. Like,
yeah,
and loud rock music while you're describing it.
Yeah, amazing. So as far as people shout outs, I just love the fact that Joachim just every single time he rolled up into the chat, he was the life of the party. And I thought that was really cool. That was one of the things that really helped me as someone who was very nervous about being a first-time moderator, and I hadn't been to Protospiel in like a year, and all the nonsense with TTS was going down. Joaquim was a really good anchor for me, a social anchor that helped me calm down and relax and like be my effervescent self, which was super cool. Oh man, who else do I want to give shout outs to? Zoe Allred, who never before heard Story. When I was getting started in game design, I did want to make games with like more serious themes, and I was convinced by people that I don't hang out with anymore, because it turns out they were not very nice, but they convinced me that people use games as an escape, and people don't want to play games about serious themes that will make them confront things like mental illness or serious real world issues. And I was like, oh, well, okay, I guess. And I internalized that, and I didn't realize until I saw Zoe's games and I met Zoe and I talked to her about her games. And I was like, oh, this is what games should be. Games are for everyone and can be all kinds of things. And it really helped me sort of come to terms with the fact that there was this, like, I don't know, weird social trauma thing that happened in my past where I felt like I was blocked from making games that weren't like fun and lighthearted, which was super cool. And then the last, I don't know how I'm doing on time, but hate to cut off this. It's wheel time. I had more. Well, just know in my heart that there were a bunch of other people I wanted to give shout outs to.
You could
And
do
I'm
it in
doing
the
it
chat
in
if
my
you
mind.
think about it. If you think about it, you could do it in the chat.
Yes. But in the
if you
meantime,
remember them later, you can do it in the chat. The
the
wheel
meantime, we're gonna-
demands to be spun, though.
All right,
Yes.
it's really
Demands
important.
to
We got to
be.
do this.
it's really important. Also, real quick,
That didn't work.
it's a finite amount of names. I just want to point that out. It's a finite amount of names. Chris.
How about effectively infinite? Let's go with
All right.
that. Yeah.
All right, that I'll take. That I'll
Not
take.
actually infinite, but basically infinite.
As a math nerd, I couldn't let the infinite comment stand.
Looks like the wheel
It's
of
like when
names
people use the
demands
word
to be spun,
random.
and then it's just like
The wrong way.
It's me again. Wheel of
the
Names.
personification of the wheel of names is here.
Yeah, we're the wheel of names likes to do this super fun thing every once in a while where
Oh, dear.
it decides that actually we're not going to spin. So I have to like reset it.
That's okay. It's not a Protospiel stream. It's not on fire. It's all good.
Yeah,
We gotta-
that's what I always say.
The joys of live broadcast.
All right, here we go. Goodbye.
Oh. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Now it demands to be spun.
Spinning. Everyone throw up the horns with me.
Lowercase d. Here we
Yes.
go.
Lowercase d.
Lowercase d.
Oh,
Michael
Emma
Wostbrock.
Right, which I also kind of forgot to say. A little bit of segue. Michael is very active also over in the Discord with building the game. So
yes. And as someone I was going to shout out.
yeah.
Well, I'm doing it now.
There you go.
Michael's great.
Yes,
I'm getting
so-
to like
That's all I
talk
have
to
the time
people that I've been just talking to in the building the game Discord, and this is just worth showing up just for that. So
yeah.
Heck
all
yeah,
good.
yo.
yeah.
Okay, I already forgot. What did Michael win? Can you help me out, Chris? I think it's a Protospiel Online
It's the free Protospiel. Yeah, because the
which you
previous
can
one.
use
Wendy Jewell
for
just got the
yourself?
$25.
or giveaway. Awesome. And actually, I don't know if I think maybe I'm making this like hot take announcement. Michael is a new moderator for us, so Michael just got a present for one.
So
of his
cool.
friends.
We're gonna work together. We're coworkers now.
Yes.
That's so
Gonna
sweet.
hang out by the water cooler.
Totally.
Talk about last night's Seinfeld. It's gonna be good stuff.
Seinfeld. Wow, you're kicking it old school.
I am 150 years old, my friend. That's,
You look great.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, not to be confused with the Wheel of Names prize being the promotion. Those are separate.
right. Yes, exactly. There was a whole thing that happened before where the application was filled out and everything.
Yeah.
And there was a discussion.
Oh, well, no, you. All right. The last bit, I talk about where to find me if I want people to
Yes.
find me. Is that what
Yeah.
happens? Oh, I didn't talk about my game. Do we care about that? Do people
Well,
want to
that's
hear
part
about
of where
my
to
game?
find you, I think, don't you?
Ah,
because
fair.
you are
There you
hoping
go,
to come to
just tie it all in.
Kickstarter quite soon, right?
Yes, this year. I'm hoping to launch on Kickstarter this year my game Fight Sequence, which is a 2-player card game about psychics thinking about fighting, which has all kinds of fun implications, which you can read more about on the website, fightsequence.com. The cast is super diverse. Tell all your queer friends. Tell all your enemies so you can fight them, I guess. I don't know.
The money spends either way. It's,
Yeah,
you know.
exactly. Yeah. So yeah, fightsequence.com is the website. For my company, the website is triplerainbow.games. And you can find me on social media if you look up my name, Jamie Sabriel Flez, or Triple Rainbow Games. On Twitter, it's at 3x Rainbow Games because I couldn't fit triple. Thank you, David. Yeah, what else? On Instagram, it's Triple Rainbow Games. You can find me all over the place. Don't try talking to me on Facebook. I won't respond. But if I'm not your favorite board game Discord group, invite me because Discord's my favorite, as we established earlier.
Mm-hmm. And you have a Discord. Did you call it out just now?
I didn't. No, yeah. I have a public Discord for Fight Sequence, which you can find at fightsequence.com. You can find the link.
Perfect.
Hey,
Good
come
stuff.
join and talk to me and look at all the weird channels I have about food and things unrelated to Fight Sequence.
It's not a Discord if you don't have like 75 channels, right?
Right? That's
Right.
what I've learned.
One is just Wordle. And
Oh my god, I should.
Right.
I should.
yeah.
Oh no, don't give Jamie any ideas.
Oh gosh. Well, this was a
Michael
pleasure.
missed it. And,
Oh, you missed it.
Angel's
Nice.
got you covered. Yeah.
Thanks, Angel.
That's-
Yeah.
And magical unicorn. Awesome. Well, okay,
I
so
want that.
making sure. Okay, good. We have the next person coming up. We haven't done the center of the stream prices right. So let's do it
Hey!
with Chris first.
Sure.
And say goodbye to Jamie. Thank you so much for
Bye.
coming. So good to talk to you
Yeah.
and see you.
Likewise.
Bye, Jamie. All right, so let's give away another prize. Let me just remind you of the rules of how this works. I'm going to show you a card from the 1986 Price is Right game. On the back of that card is a made-up price, which we're going to go with the letter C. There's 4 different prices. We're going to go price number C. I'm going to show you the card. When I say 3, 2, 1, go, as fast as you can, enter what you believe the made-up retail price of the item is. The closest without going over is going to be the winner. I will only accept the first 6 bids in the chat, so you got to move fast. And we'll give you a little bit of time if you want to like key it in and then hover your finger over the enter key. When I say go, you press enter. Closest without going over wins. If there's 2 simultaneous bids, then the first one's the one that counts. So let's take a look at this stained glass lamp like you might find at your local Pizza Hut. Stained glass lamp. This will be more expensive than the item that we were looking at previously. Just a little bit. I do not need the pennies for this. It's just going to be to the nearest dollar. Do not enter your bids until I say go, and then I'll look at the first 6 after that. So let me know what you believe in 3, 2, 1, bid. All right, I'm going to round that off to $14. I see $2.50.
Okay.
16. All over the map with this. We'll give it another moment. We have room for just a few more. 25. Another moment to consider this Pizza Hut lamp very carefully as the camera does not pick up the focus. 3,650, Jamie. That is an aggressive stance you've taken on this stained glass lamp. 365. Okay, we'll count that one. That's fine. And I believe we have all of our bids now. So I'm going to look down through, and I will tell you that the actual made-up retail price from 1986 for this stained glass lamp, $67. So with a $37 bid, Wostbrock wins again.
Oh, you pulled 3 things now.
Congratulations and well done. She's got this nailed down.
Well, Oh man, that's a good question about this playing of this game. Michael won the first Price is Right, right?
I think he did. So I'm going to let you make this call whether we go to the next one.
Oh man. How do you feel about it, Michael? Are you uncomfortable or you want the prize? Basically, I'll let you decide. Do you want to forfeit it? Give it to the next runner up, or you're not greedy if you want to keep it, but if you're like uncomfortable about taking it all, I understand that too. It goes both ways, right? People feel both
This
ways.
is the moment that the community shattered.
Right.
We
Everyone
made this
hates you now,
decision.
Michael.
It ignited an endless debate. I like how everybody in the chat is just like, take it. Just do it. Bunch of vultures in here.
Okay.
No mercy in the 1986
actually,
Price is Right.
So that's really what I should have said. Y'all are taking it over for me. It's a vote. Does Michael get it or not?
I see literally nobody saying stand aside and give up your prize.
Okay, so you win it.
There you
And
go.
It's so you've gotten. Hey, this saves me some work. You get $50 instead of 25 now.
There you go.
To the retailer that you want.
We'll pass the savings on to you. So
yeah, exactly.
There we go. There's one more later, so anything could happen there. We'll see.
Yes. It'll be funny if you sweep it. Honestly, I want to see that happen. Actually. You should keep trying.
But that's a great moment. Not only was everybody in the chat, they weren't like politely like, no, you go ahead. Everybody was like, do it. Take the prize.
It's yours. Take hold of it. And actually, that's very Protospiel too. Like, that's sort of what we're here for each other to do. Like, stop putting yourself down. You're good enough.
That's
do
right.
It.
You earned this stained glass lamp from Pizza Hut.
Right.
It's yours for the taking.
We don't want your prize. It's lame anyway. Oh, funny. Okay. Now, Wheel of Names, we are ready for the next guest to join us. Thank you.
We appeal to the Wheel of Names. Who do we have?
Hello, everyone. I'm Hasan.
I'm hiding your name. There you go. Now I can see your name.
Hey, everyone. I'm Hasan Al Salman. I joined the first Protospiel in January. I think that was my first Protospiel ever, and it was really a blast. So I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, it was fun to have you. You're a very fun playtester to be in a game with. This is what I recall from you.
Thank you. Yeah, I think we won a few playtests together, actually, Heather.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah, we did like Nova Raiders. I think Doomsday Peppers together.
Okay.
From what I recall,
yeah.
And then actually I think you were in the first time I played tested Bridge Knights, my game, right?
No, I haven't played that one yet.
It wasn't okay. No.
You and I talked at Boston Fig about it, so you taught me how to play
right.
it, but I didn't actually play it with you.
I didn't hear the title. Was it Bridge Knight?
Yeah, the game was called Bridge Knights.
Okay, I have to hear about this. This sounds interesting.
Okay, so Bridge Knights, the quick pitches. It's a strategy board game about building bridges, befriending silly knights, and rescuing your king. So essentially, it's a capture the flag type game where you just have to get your knight to the other end of the board, and 4 other players are doing the same thing on a symmetrical board. Rescue your king, or pick up your king and rescue them by bringing them back to your castle town. And you have to be the first person to do this, essentially. The thing is, between you and your king, there are a bunch of islands. And so you can't just cross the channels of water, right? So you have to you have to build networks of bridges, move across, pick up, befriend these knights, which are these cards you're picking up along the way, who are essentially abilities that you'll be using to help yourself make it across and to hinder other players' progress. When you're building bridges, you have to make decisions, like should you build a bridge of your own color or build a neutral bridge. Of course, your own bridges are limited in resource, and so that makes it a bit of a challenge. It's easier for, all players can access the neutral bridges, but you're slowed down when you move over another color, and so that's the risk reward there. So that's essentially the game. That's the quick pitch. without any visuals. Hope you can imagine that. Yeah.
Oh, no, that's a good pitch for sure.
Yeah. Thanks.
The Prince expansion is what Joachim needs, so he can play Prince Joachim in your game.
Yeah. So I guess there were two questions, right? That I'm supposed to.
It's great
to
when you
over.
can lose and be happy. Yes, just stories from Protospiel experience, which you're kind of telling us, and other games that you played that you remember, which type of story from Protospiel, more specific type of story from Protospiel.
Okay,
Online.
so I'll tell you how I came across Protospiel. I was following like GameCrafter on Twitter.
Okay.
I had no idea about Protospiel. Like, I'm pretty new to the scene in general, right? And I work at Unity. I was just like at my day job. Had a long day of work. It was like endless meetings. I was exhausted, and then I just go on Twitter, and I just see like, hey, there's this event. The GameCrafter had retweeted it, right? So I was like, there's this event where you can like playtest your game, and I've been playtesting my game with like a close circle of friends for like years, right? And I was like,
Okay.
and it's like an event with designers and people who are like just not people I've known for years. So I was like, okay, this is interesting. So I immediately signed up to it. I will admit there was a lot of reading to do for somebody who was really tired. But I managed.
We need some more video content to walk y'all through it. We're learning. We're learning how to do it.
It's great.
You see what we're doing right here. Yeah.
Exactly. No, it was great. It was great. People
Totally.
what helped was people were super helpful, and very nice. And so I made it through and joined the event and immediately just like jumped into the channel. And I think I was speaking to Jamie all of a sudden, just waiting as a moderator to walk me through everything and walk us all through. I made my little card, put it up there, and immediately had 4 people to play the game with. So I had that first play test, and it was super harsh in terms of feedback.
Oh, really?
super harsh. So there was like, which was great. I've had like the last time I had extremely harsh feedback, like my game improved dramatically, right? I mentioned to you, there were 2 different bridge colors. At one point, there wasn't the neutral bridge, and the game was a lot slower and closed off. And I had like received some like very direct, honest feedback, which I really, really admire. I appreciate rather. And so I got that again, right? And so that was my only playtest for that day, because I was just like, okay, I'll come back tomorrow, play other people's games, and maybe do a few more playtests. And so I was like, I had a lot of time to think about it. Made those changes the next morning. Made a bunch of changes the next morning. But I also, and then I playtested the game 2 more times throughout the 3 days, and the feedback was just amazing. Like almost everyone who had played it just had such a great time, and like started following me and like wanted to like talk more about the game and play it again. And so, but I learned like a lesson there, a very important lesson, which was like I learned how to talk about my game and who my game is for. And so the first time I had playtested the game, I realized that like it was okay. Like I got like some very harsh feedback from people who maybe I think were looking for something a bit more, on the competitive side. Things that those players were a bit more used to. I noticed the references were more to like abstract strategy games and things that like the game was definitely inspired from. But when doing the other 2 playtests the next day, I realized, the people who are, these people are talking about playing this game with their kids and a more casual game with their significant other, etc. Right? Like, and so I realized, okay, so I really need to position this as a family game, a casual family game, which it is. Like it's not, because there's a lot of swinging and like the tide of the game can change very quickly, and every game is different from the last, and so like it really fits that genre, and that's totally okay. And I don't need to talk about it like something it's not, like which I might have been doing a little bit of, which and so that was really a great experience. A shout out to I have to shout out Andy Joel. I hope I pronounced his name. I'm sure everybody knows who he is. I think he is the most. He's done. I noticed he was playtesting people's games from like morning to night, all 3 days. Huge respect to Andy for that. That's so nice.
He doesn't sleep. Yeah,
I noticed that.
He and just doesn't sleep.
It's really impressive.
I think he misses everybody, honestly, and wants as much time with everybody as possible. Wants the company, you know.
That's so nice, and like I'm sure everybody really appreciates it because it's a lot of. He's very enthusiastic, regardless of whether it's harsh or positive feedback. There's enthusiasm, which is really what we're looking for when you're looking for a playtester. You're not looking for a nice playtest, like playtesters who love your game. You're just looking for someone who's enthusiastic. And Andy definitely did not love the game, but that's where I got some great feedback from Andy, which had some like direct impacts on the game. For example, there was like you could pick up an item at the center of the board and it just threw off the balance. And so I just removed that, right? Entirely, and it made things it made the options in the beginning a lot less obvious. It gave players way more meaningful decisions in the beginning of the game, and that was thanks to feedback I got from that first playtest session. So that was really great. I guess that was my first story. I have it for. I don't know if I still have time.
Well, we can ask the Wheel of Names. I'm a little bit confused. I think we're missing we might be missing a guest. I don't know.
Let's look to the sky and ask the Wheel of Names.
Yes.
Hi.
It's me again. Oh, there we go.
It's me again, the Wheel. And I before I say anything further, I did see a specific request in the chat from Joaquin for a spin. And I'll do it just for you. So let me take off my headphones so I don't get tangled. Here we go.
Oh, with the flourish, even better.
I mean, yeah, you have to. If I'm gonna fully channel my Twitch streamer, then you gotta do the flourish. We are ready for Wheel of Names, but like I also don't want to cut off Hasan. So whatever everybody wants to do.
You're a crowd pleaser, David. That was like the chat blew up.
Well, maybe we could clip that. I think that's a thing on Twitch.
There you go. That's a good highlight, I think. Tell me what you want to do. Do we want to Wheel of Names it up, or do we want to give Hasan? Because Angel is
ready.
Hanging out.
Okay.
So whenever we're ready to.
And we have for our deadline, we have about 30 more minutes, but we'll try to kind of be on top of things and wrap it up before then. Why don't we let you, Hasan, share a shout out to some other game that you played at least before we spin the wheel, and then we'll do that.
Absolutely. So I would like to shout out a player and a game. I'll shout out the player Luke. Luke's hold on, let me get it. The last name was Luke Seeley, who played Bridge Knights and then wrote me a 2,500 word essay.
Oh my gosh.
after the event, and sent it over to me, and it just like dissected the game and gave me feedback on each and every aspect of the game, and absolutely like made my day. It was amazing. It was just the nicest thing ever. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? I like, yeah. I commented on absolutely every aspect that he sent me. It was really great. And then another story, I think, for another game, I think Nova Raiders was a really cool game that we were playing from like midnight till 2 a.m. after Protospiel was done. So that was fun, just hanging out with people kind of in a much more casual way. Like the creator of Nova Raiders was Roger Malak, and like they weren't really looking for feedback. They just wanted to hang out and play their game at that point, right? And so it was fun. It was very casual. We were just chilling, past like midnight till 2 a.m. Talking, getting to know each other, and having a good time. And that was that was really great. Like I remember that standing out, right? And that also shout out to Doomsday Peppers for bringing such a interesting game and being open to being really open to feedback. It was I think kind of early in the process, but they had so many different systems in place, and I think it's a game that just had really a lot of potential. And I just it's great to see a team that's so open to feedback and making such big changes to their games and being so receptive. So shout out to them. That was really a fun experience.
Yes.
Cool.
That's awesome. I want before we spin the wheel. Yes, thank you for coming so much, and thank you for finding us. And I'll tell you one thing about the first time attendee. That's really sort of the story you're telling. I think maybe uniquely to anybody else who came today. No, the next person who's coming after you. So far, you're the only one, but the last two of you it was your first time in January, and we have established something a little bit new where you'll be a different color than everybody else in Discord. So people will know you're new. You won't be anymore because you're not new anymore. So, but I have heard that when people realize you're new, you're like, hi, I'm new. People are like, well, your game's not very good, but I'm going to be nice about it. I'm not going to, right? I'm going to be a little more gentle on my delivery. So I'm glad that it didn't hurt you. It can hurt. No. It can scare and hurt people sometimes when they get the first piece of negative feedback that's really honest that they've ever received. So I'm glad you received it well, but hopefully we'll have it. This will be a good change where everybody knows who's new and who it's their first time and knows to kind of help and mentor them a little more gently. So I
think receiving feedback is a skill. I just wanted to throw that in there. It's a skill that you develop, right? Because I am a game developer before I started doing board games, and so I've been
or video games, right?
A video game designer. Sorry, I thought I said that. Yeah, video game designer and developer, and I've received so much harsh feedback and taken it. And before that, I was in architecture, and oh my god, I've been dissected and just shattered by professors. And it wasn't easy at first, but then you keep doing it, and yes, it becomes easier. You develop that skill, you learn how to take it, and you always have to take it with a smile, if you can, and understand that there's no ill will towards you. They're just everyone wants your game to be better, right?
Yes, exactly.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Well, and I want to correct myself, Michael. You won. This is a little preview of what y'all won in Shout Out Palooza. Just a preview. It's not everything that's going to be in the envelope. And that's actually what you won. You didn't win the $25 gift certificate. I totally misspoke. You have won 2 physical items. You won that and the stickers. So somebody else won the.
Interesting.
So, sorry about that. I got confused. But now to actually doing that 25 gift certificate, that's from the Wheel of Names, not from Chris. So.
Well, then I'm going to go and turn myself into an actual wheel. BRB.
All right, the Wheel of Finite Names, but effectively infinite names, which is a P or a lowercase d, depending on the position.
Right, that's true. Oh, I get it. Derwent, yeah.
Congratulations!
Derwent is, I think, from the UK. Certainly sounds like from the UK, and has a really funny. It's kind of in the party game realm about being rich kings trying to avoid being the ones that get poisoned. It's sort of a pressure luck game. So
I love that idea.
I love a good pressure luck game, for sure.
Awesome. Yes. Awesome. So that Derwent is the one who actually got the $25 gift card. And now we'll hear from you, Hasan, before saying goodbye. What's the best way to keep in touch with you or follow what you're up to?
For sure. So I think somebody dropped a link tree in the chat. You can follow me at bridgenights_. I'm on Twitter and on Instagram, where I'll be just sharing a bunch of like visuals of the game, and I've been making like a bunch of marketing material in the Unity game engine. Like I've just doing 3D renders of the game for now, just having fun with that.
You have a very high production quality, probably from that from that video game background here.
It helps. Yeah, it helps. It's fun. It's a lot of fun to do. People should explore that avenue. It's really you can really test things out fast, like visually, right? Very quickly. It's a fun way to market your game. And that's actually, I'll be making the trailer for the game in Unity. But yeah, other than that, you can follow me at snowtailgames.com. There and you can find my mailing list there. And my whole link tree is on Twitter and Instagram, so you can find everything there.
Yeah. That's a handy tool.
Yeah, very handy, very helpful. But yeah, thanks everyone in the chat. Thanks for all your nice comments and feedback. Yeah, and I'll see you guys. Awesome. I'll see everyone at the next Protospiel, right? April. That's right.
Yay!
Right? Yeah. Okay.
We're excited to have you. Thank you.
See you all there.
And thanks for joining us today. Thanks for making time for us today. I know it's a kind of like being inside the studio here is with different people coming in and out. It's a little like stressful, I think. Maybe, but thank you for putting up with it.
Super well organized. Great job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Pleasure to meet you.
Ciao. Bye-bye.
Okay, and so we have one more guest, and then at the end we'll do one more prize, the t-shirt.
Sounds like a good plan.
There we go. And we keep saying Angel. I bet it's supposed to be pronounced Angel, isn't it? Or do you like both?
Both. I think it's good. Yeah.
We're talking to you, but really most like your family calls you Angel, I bet you, right?
Yeah, that's true. Well, I'm in Mexico, so everybody speaks Spanish, so it's normal. Hello, Jamie. Hello, Jokse.
The LEDs in your mic, I just have to call this out because that is a beautiful microphone and it is glowing in a way that I'm very jealous of.
Thank you. So I have two questions I need to answer. Well, for me, it was very interesting experience for me because it was my first Protospiel Online, also the first Protospiel. And my favorite story, it was very interesting playing the game of Hasan, the Bridge Knights. Honestly, it wasn't a very good game, but the production was amazing, and it was very nice of him to accept all the critics, all the adjustments we made, and I think it's a very good game and has a very huge potential. I hope to see it soon on Kickstarter or publish it, and also.
You're planning, or they're planning to self-publish? Yeah. I think so. We need your translation skills here. Joachim says he's got. I don't know what it says. I don't know how to speak Spanish. What is Joachim saying to us right now?
Okay, he wants a Coke, a big Coke to drink and dance with him. Okay. I don't know how both correlate, but
not sure how to respond.
Usually I pair Coke with French fries, but I suppose you could pair Coke with a dance. So
yeah, you got it right, except muy, it's with Y, and conmigo is you need to write it together. But everything is right.
Wow, and Joachim speaks English very well too. So there's at least 3 languages that you can use at least and get pretty close to. That's you're way ahead of me. So
that's nice.
Okay,
Also,
sorry, that was a non sequitur.
No, don't worry. Also, I saw the Nova Riders game at the end. I wanted to play it, but I was very tired. It was very late here in Mexico, but I saw it was very fun because they were laughing and they were almost shouting. I don't know how the game is about, but it was interesting to see it. And
So you
also,
just watched them play instead of like you were there, but you didn't play, but you watched them play or kind of listened in, is what you're saying.
that's true. I left the streaming and I was going to sleep, so it was interesting to to hear it and see it. And also, I want to give a shout out to Michael with his game The Clearing with the cute leeches, and it was interesting to make a deck building. I met Michael in various board game design groups, and his games are little but very interesting to me. So it was a very good experience, and I want to see this game to be published soon.
I've never heard anybody use those two words together, cute leeches. Is that what you said?
Yeah,
Let me
that's
get this
true.
straight. Yeah.
Yes, it was funny because he told us about his game. It was about cute animals and that, and then he drew a leech, and it was like, okay, maybe it's cute in some way.
Depends on your definition. Yep.
Yeah.
And why don't
And
you?
yeah,
Oh, do you have another game you wanted to shout out? I won't
no,
interrupt you.
that was the true experience I can remember more clearly.
Awesome. I want you to talk a little bit about your game, which I do see in the background.
Yeah, here's the prototype box. So this, uh, well, my game is about guiding a refugee from the. Um, I changed the name. It was Fog of War. Now it's Shadow of War.
Okay.
That was a feedback people gave me because Fog of War is something else. So I make the Shadow of War. So you need to guide this refugee outside the Shadow of War and make it safe. Uh, it, it, it wasn't planned that this game was going to be more. I don't know. I don't know how to say it, but because of all the things that are happening in Ukraine,
Mhm.
people told me that I predict the future, but I don't want to feel like that because this is a problem that is always
Oh
there
yeah.
and
Yeah, it was
has
not happening
so many
before.
years. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just
So
way more visible all of a sudden.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. So
Yeah.
I have a lot of pressure of this game because I want to make the Kickstarter campaign as soon as possible because I want to donate some
Oh,
part of the earnings to the cause. So we
that
are
would be
working
awesome.
very hard to make it because we wanted to make it in June, all the Kickstarter because they are making the page and I investigating about the shipping and all that kind of stuff because it's my first Kickstarter, so it's going to
You're
be a lot of pressure, and also because the theme is very recently.
right,
So
right.
yeah,
You're not allowed to straight up fundraise with Kickstarter. You might want to use a different platform,
okay,
though, if you want it to really be fundraising. You can do things like there's fancy things maybe you could do to get around it, but you can't say like a portion of what you pay is going to go to Ukraine with Kickstarter. I think
Mhm.
other ones you might be able to. I'm not as familiar with them, but
okay,
yeah, that might be a reason to look. And there are other reasons to look away from Kickstarter anyway. Unfortunately, it's got some problems. So doesn't mean we won't use it at all, but it might not be like people might love you for not using Kickstarter too and be excited to use something different. Giving you
yeah,
coaching advice right here on the stream, but this is a tiny mini play test.
well, thank you for the information. I didn't know. I was thinking about using other platform because Kickstarter. I don't know. it gives me the chills sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm not vague booking about it. The things I'm talking about is that they're vaguely describing that they want to be involved in crypto and that there are reasons that makes a lot of people uncomfortable. They don't have good controls. Something very terrible happened to some friends of mine last year. Somebody was harassing them in scary ways in the comments, and there's nothing you can do about that. You cannot ban people on Kickstarter, and Kickstarter couldn't help them, so they just had to cancel their whole campaign. That was pretty lame. So that's a very extreme example. Like, they can be mean in the comments, but usually it's not to the level of harassment where there was actually a restraining order put out on the person. So anyways, and there have been some reports of not good conduct of the people, like human to human conduct with their employees and stuff, of the people who own Kickstarter. So there's like kind of this big laundry list of like kind of reasons not to want to use it. And it's so powerful for marketing. It's yet another one of those conundrums. Like, do I use Facebook? Facebook is also not the most kind and generous company, but we use it anyway. So yeah, just that was my little rant, I guess. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay to know all of this stuff, because I don't have too much guidance in this stuff, because it's very new for me. This is my first Kickstarter, and also I was planning to make a print and play. So all the earnings were going to the refugees, and also I'm
And there are
working on
definitely
that.
channels for selling print and play too, which may be a very direct way to do that. So
yeah, maybe you could do that before actually you do the full release, so you can do the fundraise really, really fast and without having to get all the things stacked up to make the campaign make sense. You know what I mean? There's maybe our Wheel of Names can help me out by putting a link to this in the chat. If you go over and look at something that I've been featuring on our Twitter, an example of fundraising using board game design. There's this amazing example of it with everything that's going on in Texas, as well as Ukraine. Like, we just have all the things to be upset about right now. But if you do bundles on Itch, you can give the funds to a charity. And so somebody called everybody to donate games for a bundle for the funds to go to charity to help trans rights in Texas. And almost 500 games were donated. And the last time I looked, they had already made $100,000 for it. So pretty cool. I think you might have to bundle games. The way somebody said it made it sound like you need a bundle. So not just your game. But if you could find at least one or two other people with a similar sort of bent, you might be able to do that for the fundraising. Use your game for fundraising in that way. Well, this is quite the comment.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Joke. We can be in contact. You can write me here on Twitch or in Discord.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, Itch is great. Yeah. I think it's in our stream. It's links are redacted, but you can see them on Twitch. So.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. So
yes.
I was working on this. Also, I'm working on the expansion of the refugee. There are a lot of things I can add to this. Also, in a very respectfully manner. And well, if I make this campaign, I will not say Kickstarter because I don't know now.
Right. Sorry. Sorry to throw the wrench in. You're like, crowdfunding is what I say when I'm saying when I don't want to pin people into Kickstarter, I say crowdfunding.
Yeah. So when I make this crowdfunding, I will make other games. I have a lot of prototypes here making dust because I'm very new with all of this. So yeah, it will be fun, I hope.
Yes. We're so glad we love having international people. It's harder to find y'all because we're not already networked with you, but we're hoping to build up over time. So I was really excited to see somebody from Mexico joining us. And Mexico is interesting because it's a foreign country, but it's much more similar to our time zone. And Brazil is much more similar to our time zone than people who are in Europe and Australia, Oceania area. So
Yeah,
we
that's
get
true.
kind of we get the cultural diversity without the frustration of the time zone when people from Mexico and Brazil join us.
Well, it's very efficient that way.
Yes.
So we got a playtesting offer already. So you got one seat at the table, which is excellent.
Thank you, Tanner.
Yeah.
I hope to play testing your game too. Sounds fun. Thank you, David.
I did get to play test Angel's game, and it's interesting. It's very sunny and bright for such a depressing topic on purpose. That makes sense. But yeah, you definitely feel the pressure. The kind of mechanic of the game, very high level, is that you're moving down a row of cards and you're doing actions that in a very specific sort of way you're allowed to move, but you're a kind of a team of people who are trying to bring a child to safety. So you have the child pawn and then your players. Yeah. And the object is to move along and get to the end, but there's the shadow of war following you, this like tank tile that's like right on your heels. So it feels very thematic and pressure laden.
I love the aspect of the refugee because it is a simple white pawn with it's going to be like a hole in the center of the chest in a heart shape. But
Okay.
I don't mention that is a child or a man or a woman. It's fun to see that people project themselves.
Yeah,
They call it
in our game we called it a child though.
the
So I
child.
just yeah. So I just thought it was, yeah.
It is very interesting because I heard it was a old man. It was like a boss of a tribe, a child, a girl, someone that has like a discapacity or something like he doesn't have a leg or is blind or something like that. It's very interesting because the people start to care about a simple object, but the representation is very important to me because uh, it is white because it's innocent and also has the hole in their chest because this person uh, lose something because of the war. So it's very symbolic, and also I like the people has to name it in some way. So is that is what inspired me to make this game in hope to make a whole line of this kind of game. Maybe not the same theme, but some some themes of the same importance.
Yeah. That's awesome. Okay, well, I think it's time to do the wheel, right? And then after the wheel, we'll get your contact info.
Nice.
How many more wheels do we have? I'm curious. Is this
This is the last one, isn't it?
this is the last one? Okay, so this one's
Yeah.
important. This
Okay.
is for the sweep,
Yes.
the three-peat. Let's see if we can make it happen. Lowercase d turns into a horizontal line with a curve. Jeff, congratulations!
Jeff Johnson. That is a free badge to Protospiel Online, I believe. The last thing we gave was the gift certificate, right? I need to get like a little doohickey. Toggle it between the two. Because as I'm having conversations with people, I like my memory is just going these days. I cannot remember what the last thing I said was. Yay, Jeff. That's awesome. Jeff, I know already is in for April, so that might be either a gift for somebody or August already in the bag. All right. Well, Angel, why don't you tell us how you best like to be kept in touch with and where to follow along and see what you decide to do, what we were just talking about, I guess.
Well, you can find me in my official website that is new. All the people
Yay!
that are working with me, they make a very beautiful website, and also they are working on the website for the refugee. You can find it like Celestial. That is my designer's name.
Okay.
And also I in Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. I use more Instagram. I don't know how Twitter works yet, so I'm still working at that.
Watch
And
Chris. Chris is good at Twitter. Watch what Chris
tweet
does.
from time to time. There are tweets. I write them.
I think I'm following him, Chris. I think. I don't know. Yeah, and that's it for my social media. And for the people that want to know why Celestial, is because of the color, but it's grown to be a fantasy name, because Celestial is light blue, and
Okay.
light blue is wisdom and peace.
Awesome. Very good. Well, thank you so much for joining us. This was like actually kind of just like your game. It's sort of heavy and hopeful at the same time. And
Thank
that's
you.
kind of what the talk was like with you too. So that makes sense. It was
Thank
good
you.
to have
that,
you with us.
That means a
Thanks
lot.
for making
Thank you
time.
for inviting me.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Very good to have you. Bye.
Well,
It's
see
a pleasure.
you.
Thanks again.
Awesome. Okay.
And here we are.
You want to come back, Wheel of Names / David? Now that the wheel has been appeased, maybe you can be David again.
We've appeased the wheel.
Hello. Yeah, let me change my name to my actual name. Hold, please.
Let's just stare at you while you do it.
Yeah. Are you
All
done
right,
yet?
that should be. I am done.
Good stuff.
Interesting. All right. So this one is for the t-shirt. So we're modeling again in case people missed it at the beginning. There are more colors than this, but these are the 2 patterns that you can choose from our website.
That's something to do.
I'll just be. Oh yeah, yeah. You're spinning again. It says Protospiel on the back.
These shirts are wicked comfy.
This is the
by the
most. Way. Yeah, it's very soft.
Yes.
This is the most like physical activity I've had in a very long time. Spinning and
the printer that I went with, I chose it because they had this good kind of shirt. It's called a Bella Canvas 3001.
Oh, it's like futuristic. That's. It's got 3001 in the name.
Yeah.
Maybe I should like make a costume for next time, like a nice like mask that.
Yeah, you need more stuff to do.
My face. Yeah, give me more tasks, please. That might be fun though.
Yeah. It's up to you, man.
Let me see if I can pull together some time to do it.
Oh my goodness.
You've moved on from that life. That's but they always pull you back in somehow. So should we give away a t-shirt?
Yes, let's do
All
it.
right, let's do the
please.
thing. One more time with the rules in case you're joining late. I have from the 1986 Price is Right board game a card from that game. On the back there is the price of an item, which is roughly what the price of that was in 1986. I'm going to show you the card, and when I say go and not before, you are going to type into the chat what you think the 1986 price of this is. I will look at the first 6 bids and no more. The closest without going over will be the winner. And if there are 2 bids that are exactly the same, only the first one that I see will count. So let's show you the last item of the day, which is this 35mm camera outfit. So if you want to dress as a 35mm camera for Halloween, this is what you need.
No, hold on now. That's misrepresentation. You're going to confuse everybody.
So this, I just read what they give me.
He's just reading what's on the card.
Right.
Fair, okay, fair.
So it's
Look at the
camera.
picture as well.
It is also the most expensive item we've looked at today. It is the next category up from the stained glass lamp we looked at earlier. And so I'm going to pull the proper chat up, and I will say 3, 2, 1, bid. Type your bids in the chat. Nearest dollar, please. I'll round it off for you. If you don't, we'll see if Wostbrock can take 3 in a row. I see 134, 98, 399, 140, and 392. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's room for one more. If there's somebody out there, we'll give it another moment. Everybody's rooting for the three-peat.
Oh, yeah. I don't think Wostbrock did put a three-peat in.
Oh,
There's
man.
room.
So it's impossible. Okay. You can't play if you don't. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
145, says Wostbrock. All right. So I'm looking down through. And remember that it's the closest without going over. And you're not going to believe this. But the actual fake retail price, $278. The closest bid, $145, belonging to Wostbrock for the three-peat. All 3.
He's just like, he's tapped in. He
Locked and loaded. Undefeated. Wow. You can't make this stuff up, kids.
Wow.
Just to go
Michael,
over it, he's got this 3-pound can of shortening, stained glass lamp from Pizza Hut, the 35 millimeter camera costume for Halloween, lots of amazing prizes, and well-deserved, because this is, of course, a game of skill, as we all are well aware. So,
well, he's got to go on Price is Right at this point.
Right.
Like, that is,
Yeah.
this is just a warm-up for the real deal, kids.
In 1986, he needs to
Right.
get a time machine.
Jump in the DeLorean
Mm-hmm.
and make it happen. Everyone else needs to unplug from the Matrix and wake up. Accurate, I would say.
Oh my gosh. You all in chat. So much love to you. My face hurts. My face hurts. I'm smiling too much.
the chat was awesome today.
Thanks everybody in the chat for trying so hard to bring Wostbrock down. It wasn't going to happen today. But good game, everybody, and I appreciate the chance to hang out with you today and give away some prizes and meet some amazing people, and this was a really fun experience.
Yeah, I'm glad. It was really, really great to have you, Chris, and thank you so much for spreading the word and doing all that for us, too.
Absolutely. Certainly, from my own experience, I wish I had something like Protospiel when I was designing a game. The fact that it's this critical mass of people who are like-minded, who understand the design process, who know how to give that direct, respectful feedback, but also in a forward-looking way, because they're on your side, they want you to succeed. And the fact that it's gone online to make it accessible to folks who are in remote places, and to just get that more number of people, so you're not going to wait too long to get people into a test. All of that is amazing, and it takes a lot of work to get there. So kudos to you for putting this together and creating this amazing resource.
Thank you. Thank you for the support.
Thank you.
It's been great getting to know you recently, Chris. I'm very glad to have you be a person I talk to.
I can't wait to meet your
person I
mother-in-law. That's gonna be fun.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, well, and we're right on time. We did it, everybody.
We did it.
We did it. It's been did.
And one more time, will you say your email for people to, if they want to do it all night long?
Sure, I'm going to go down the whole list of things. So if you want to get in touch with me, I am on Twitter @TableFlipsU. I am also newly on Instagram, like within the last 2 weeks, @TableFlipsU. So you can catch me on social there. You can email me at contactflipthetable@gmail.com. Once again, contactflipthetable@gmail.com is my very public email. If you want to see what Mall Night Long looks like, you can visit facebook.com/Mall Night Long. You can visit our Facebook page, like it, check out the video of the sort of demo game we did with Board Game Blitz a few days ago. That was a lot of fun. There are 2 complete episodes available for booking. The pricing is set to make it very accessible for small groups. And if you're not a Facebook person and don't want to look at it on Facebook, just follow me on the other socials because I will not shut up about it. So it's a great resource for that. And I'm also active in the Building the Game Discord as well. So you can come say hi to me there too.
Yes. And let me do just a little bit of housekeeping before we hang up too about Protospiel Online. I'll switch and be on stage.
You're gonna be big. There you go.
I'll be big. Bye. We are making a bid to become affiliates on Twitch. So we're doing more streams than usual this week. And we're going regularly streaming. So until very recently, we just did these giveaway live streams. Those were the only things that we did as live streams. But now we also have done a few tutorials. David has helped us with that. And then Zoe came on too. So we have one for Tabletop Playground and for Screentop GGG. That it's the same game in the 2 different platforms. So you can see very clearly the difference. And all the things that we do on live stream, we're always going to republish them on YouTube. So you can go to our YouTube to find the replays of all of these things. And we have decided that we're going to do a weekly stream, Protospiel Tested. We did our first one on Thursday. You can catch that replay on YouTube. And we're doing, like I mentioned when we saw Jess, we're going to be playing Library Labyrinth this week on Thursday. And that's going to be a regular thing that we're definitely committed to. And I am considering looking at doing a daytime one because that's a Thursday night that makes it hard for all of you people in Europe to participate. And we want to include you too. So we'll be adding probably an afternoon thing in there, but details are forthcoming. I'll keep you in the loop. And tomorrow I am going to do a live stream by myself to let you all talk to me about what's going on with Protospiel Online, not using Tabletop Simulator, and any of your fears and worries about Tabletop Playground and Screentop GG. Even if I'm sitting here all by myself and nobody in the chat asks me questions, I've had a lot of people ask me questions in private that I'm just going to answer them for everybody because I think they're on more people's minds than the people who pop up. So that will be at 1 p.m. EST tomorrow. I'll remind you in our Discord and on Twitter. Our Twitter is at ProtospielO. And I'll do my best always to tell you when we're going to go live in advance. It's going to happen a lot more this week. We're going to do an extra one with Jess and Mill. Since they're in the UK, they're not going to be able to come to our Thursday night stream, so we're doing it Monday afternoon. At a time that I keep getting messed up about because of daylight savings time, getting confused about when it's happening, and all that sort of thing. So I don't want to say it out loud.
Time is a given construct anyway.
We're getting a handful of questions about times and things in the chat. And what I would say is whenever we announce these things, if you keep an eye on the live stream announcements channel in the Protospiel Online Discord, we put it all in there. And we are doing our best to post it all in Eastern Standard Time and also GMT, which I always forget what that one.
Anymore. I'm not going to
we're not doing that anymore? Never mind.
It's too confusing. Even though I live in Colorado and David's in Chicago, our official time is EST because that's where the most people in the US live. And I've heard from Europeans, you all understand what that means more often. So our official convention time is EST, and I'll try to always communicate it as much as possible in that time zone. The Thursday that is promised and regular, that is 9 p.m. EST. Trying to do that every single week, 9 p.m. EST. And we'll be playing games that have been tested at any Protospiel, focusing on Protospiel Online as much as we possibly can. But now they have at least gotten to crowdfunding or beyond. So it's going to be a game that's it's not going to be a play test. It's going to be a game that has come to fruition. It's finished in its finished state, and it owes some thanks to Protospiel from the feedback. So, and the one other thing I'll shout out to you all, if you aren't aware of it, we are going to do a special accountability buddy matching for anybody who has signed up for their badge for April by March 7th at midnight EST. And this will be something where playtesters and designers, anybody who's coming to Protospiel Online can be matched. It's going to be based on topic, not what your goals are, just based on a topic you'll enjoy talking about. All you have to commit to is 30 minutes to talk together. But if it goes great, maybe you've made a new friend that can help you. Yeah, you can be revved up about getting to the convention and having whatever you want to have ready figured out in advance. Figure it out. So that deadline is this Monday night. What do you say, Tanner? An account-a-buddy, if you will. Yes, that's a good one.
A good portmanteau
I like
always
it.
makes everything more memorable.
Absolutely.
Jamie's time zone.
That'll definitely help you remember.
Awesome. Okay, that's all of my very much housekeeping. There's so much more housekeeping this week than there usually is. So thank you for indulging me.
And anything we do, so, as Heather mentioned, we're trying to focus on Twitch, but 24 hours after the Twitch stream happens, this will appear on YouTube, where it'll sort of live permanently. I think on Twitch, we have like 3 weeks before it disappears into the Twitch void, and Amazon keeps it for themselves. But we'll be copying everything over to YouTube if you miss the streams and you miss it on Twitch. So
definitely, yeah. Okay, we'll all be even as we say goodbye. What do you say?
Yes, you're going to be on YouTube. You're going to be
for posterity. Absolutely. Okay. Well, thank you both for all your help with this.
Yes,
this was quite the production. It was very fun. Everybody in chat, you made the show. You're just cracking us up over here.
Congratulations to the winners.
Yes.
Congratulations to the winners.
Thanks for having me aboard. It was a fun time.
Yeah, thank you, Chris.
Yes, thank you, Chris, and thank you, David. Wheel of Names, David. We'll see everybody next time. Oh yeah, bye.
Bye.